Hey folks, Wayne Jennings here with a new dash camera I'm going to be checking out. This is made by a company called GKU. It's the model M22. And let me just tell you that the folks at GKU sent this to me. I didn't pay for it, but they sent it to me so I can review it. Now, they're not paying me to do this review, and they're not telling me what to say. All the opinions are mine. And my first opinion is it's a pretty basic dash camera. It does a really good job shooting at 2.5K and 1080, but it lacks a few features that some of the cameras have. For instance, it doesn't have a touchscreen, it doesn't have Wi-Fi connection, but one cool thing it does have, it comes with this, and that is a rear-facing camera. So driving down the road, you can record video out the front of your vehicle as well as out the back of your vehicle. Here's the box from GKU. Now let's open it up and see exactly what you get. Of course, you get the dash camera itself. It comes with a suction cup mount for mounting the camera onto the windshield. There's a 12-volt power plug to power your dash cam. You get a tiny rear-facing camera. Now that comes with a 6-meter long cable and a mounting kit consisting of adhesive tape and screws. There's a lens cleaning cloth, a user manual, and they even supply a special tool to help with wire installation. Getting your dash camera hooked up and running is a fairly simple process. It includes 4 items. Of course, we have the dash camera itself, and it comes with this suction mount, which slides onto the camera, and then that will stick onto the windshield. You then have to power the dash camera, so it comes with this 12-volt plug on this end. This plugs into your 12-volt outlet in your car, and the other end is a USB Type-C plug that plugs into the dash camera. The other component, of course, is the rear view camera here, and it comes with lots of cable, and again, there's a little plug there that plugs directly into the dash camera. First thing we need to do is mount the dash camera to the windshield, and that's where this suction cup comes in really handy. Just find a spot where you want, push it on, and then you turn this knob here from unlock to the lock position, and it's good and secure. And then once it's on there, you can rotate the camera back and forth or tilt it up and down. To power your dash camera, you take this 12-volt plug, find a 12-volt outlet in your vehicle, and just plug it in. Neat thing here is there's a USB socket on the end of this plug, so if you have a cell phone you want to charge, you can plug that in. But once this is in, power will then run from this cable all the way up to your dash camera. At the other end of that cable we find this. It's a USB Type-C connector, and that plugs into the top of the dash camera like so. Now you have power. Now you can just leave this wire hanging down, or for a neater installation, you can run the wire behind the dashboard and up behind the A-pillar. And that's where this wire installation tool comes in handy, because you want to hide this wire behind the A-pillar here, and this just allows you to push it in, and you do that all the way up the A-pillar, and then the wire is hidden out of sight for a nice, neat installation. Hooking up the rear view camera is a fairly simple process. You see I have one already hooked up from another dash cam, but this mounts in the same way. There's this flexible mounting bracket here with a place for adhesive tape. It comes with this adhesive tape or a couple little screws. So you just find a spot where you can stick it up there, and then you can aim it. And then of course you've got all this cable, which you then, again, you can hide it in the headliner or the pillars, but you run this to the front of the car and plug it into the dash camera. Once your dash cam is plugged in and has power, the operation of it is pretty straightforward. When you put your key in the ignition or start the car, the dash cam automatically powers on. This red LED indicates it has power. The flashing blue LED above it indicates that it's recording, and it starts recording automatically. Now you can start and stop it by pushing this button on the side here, and it will stop recording. You can also power the unit off by pushing this button or power it back on. But I like the automatic system where it just starts all by itself. That's really easy. There's a few other buttons on this side. One you can push and it locks the video, so that way you can save that particular video. There's another button up here. If you push it, it goes in and opens up a menu showing various videos if you want to play them back. And then on this side, there's 3 other buttons that you can use to navigate the menu and set things up. If you push the middle one, you get a menu, and then by pushing the up and down buttons, you can go through and select different items, like you can set the resolution, you can set the amount of time that each video records. There's this feature called parking, which is if you're leaving the vehicle and something happens, there's a vibration, it will start recording. However, you need a special power package you have to order because that requires power all the time. There's this thing called G-sensor, which in the case of if you get hit by another car or there's a sudden impact, it will lock that particular video. There's other settings on here. You can turn the LCD screen off, you can set the language, you can turn the sound on or off. You can flip the image upside down if the happens to be mounted upside down, and you can set the time and format the card, things like that. So it's pretty basic. Once you've set everything up, you pretty much just have to leave it, start the car, it'll start recording, and away you go. Now let's have a look at some of the video recorded by this dash camera. All right, here we have the forward-facing camera set to the 2.5K resolution. You can easily read the license plate on the vehicle in front of me, and the image is well exposed and looks sharp and stable. This next shot is set to the 1080 resolution. It also looks stable, well exposed, and detailed. Now the rear-facing camera can only be set to 1080, but I did get some mixed results. As you can see in this sequence, it's a little choppy. I mean, it almost looks like it was captured at a lower frame rate. But here, the rear-facing camera recorded a smooth and steady shot without any jitters. After a bit of testing, I realized it all depends on how the front camera is set. You see, when the front camera is set to the highest resolution, 2.5K, well, the rear camera seems to suffer. However, if I set the front camera to 180, then the rear camera looks fine. Perhaps the processor in this dash cam is not powerful enough to keep up. So if you want smooth video, then just set both cameras to the 1080 resolution. And here's some nighttime shots along the highway. I was very impressed at how bright and detailed everything looked, considering the only source of illumination are all the car headlights. So in conclusion, this dash camera, the GKU M22, not a bad little camera considering the price. I think it retails for about $59. Does a half decent job getting video as you're heading down the road in front and behind. A little disappointing that the rear view camera is a bit jerky and choppy when you've got the front camera set to the highest resolution. But you can still, see what's behind you. It's still usable video. Like I say, it's a basic dash camera. Nothing fancy. There's no Wi-Fi. There's no GPS to record your speed and your location. But it basically, you turn the car on, it starts recording, away you go. Really simple, really easy. One thing, I'm being a bit nitpicky here, but these cables that hang down, one for the rear view camera, one for the power, they have this 90-degree elbow, which is kind of odd because when you're mounting it to the windshield, you don't want these cables to go straight up. Instead, they kind of bow out like that. So it's a little messier installation. I think the wire should go straight up for a nice, neater installation. But, it does a half decent job. I like the fact that you turn the car on, it starts recording, it's all automatic. Another cool thing is this dash camera comes with a memory card a 32 gig memory card, which is a nice bonus because most of them don't. You have to buy that extra. But all in all, you know, considering the price, considering the performance, not a bad entry-level dash camera.